did he go? Okay. He's got the next two proclamations too, so we can't move on without him. It sounds like the sheriff. He's got the next two. Yep. But I tell you what, we'll just move right along and we'll go to a presentation by Anderson County EMS Director Nathan Sweet and Sheriff Russell Barker. This will be the CPR Saves Lives recognitions.
Remind me, I have to thank Mr. Val for giving us the opportunity to go first. So it is an honor to be before you all today, especially for what we want to recognize multiple personnel from multiple agencies. There's a lot happens on calls that we go to, but nothing better you could really imagine than a CPR save. So there are two of our most recent that we would like to recognize because they're a little bit more unique than what we may see on some of our other CPR saves. And I'd like to just go ahead and handle each one of those separately, one at a time. But the first one actually happened in October of 2025. This happened in the Claxton community, right off the Clinton Highway near Old State Circle. There was a call for help in the afternoon, calling 911, and initially came in as an unresponsive patient, but identified during that it was actually developing into cardiac arrest. And the first person on scene was actually a sheriff's deputy, Mr. Scott Lopez, who arrived on scene shortly after the call came out, and he immediately began CPR, which the dispatcher tried to do telecommunicated CPR over the line, but the person there was not willing to do CPR for whatever reason that may be. Sometimes it's physical limitations. But Deputy Scott Lopez arrived on scene and immediately sprung into action, recognized what needed to be done, and started performing CPR until the ambulance crew, about 5 minutes later, arrived on scene. And talking to one of our ambulance crew members, they really highlighted the effectiveness of Deputy Lopez's CPR. And really, bluntly just saying, he was doing all the right things and he was, AKA, wearing it out, meaning he was doing it and he was doing it effectively, which is obviously what you want to be done. And as soon as they got there, asked him if he needed to be relieved, and he immediately said, "No, I've got this," while our crews started to get all of their devices, equipment, supplies ready. So we switched over to the mechanical chest compression devices that we have, started to provide advanced life support care. And during the treatment, the patient received one defibrillation from our cardiac monitor, which restored a normal heart rhythm, and the patient began breathing on his own. It's all great things, obviously. As we began to package the patient, moving the patient to the stretcher, unfortunately, they went back into cardiac arrest, stopped breathing, and the crew immediately restarted compression device and continued their advanced life support interventions. As they were loading the patient into the ambulance, they did a EKG check, found the patient was in a defibrillated condition. They provided another defibrillation and the patient came back. The patient restored a normal heart rate. They started to breathe on their own, and that was the last time that they had to do CPR on this patient. This patient was transported to the hospital, continued to provide care and treatment along the way as was needed based on the patient's presentation, getting to the hospital where they took over care and continued to provide care for several days as he was admitted to the hospital and ultimately discharged back to home. We unfortunately could not get the patient to come back for tonight, although we reached out trying to have those attempts. They did not live local, but it was the recognition on that side of how it was so quickly identified, because when we have unresponsive calls, a sheriff's deputy may be available, maybe not. But there was one. There was one in close proximity in the Claxton community and quickly jumped on the call and was the first one there. And I really believe with that effort, attributed significantly to the outcome of this patient. Obviously, there was a continuation of care. There was other things that were performed and done for this patient, so everyone on scene played a huge role in that. But it is that initial step, and I really wanted, the sheriff, I kind of looped him in. I didn't really necessarily ask him, but I said, Sheriff, this is one of your deputies. This is a highlight for your organization as well. The chain of survival takes every link to meet that survivability. And what his deputy did under the guidance of the sheriff's department to provide that, to get CPR training for the deputies to, as a matter of fact, when we bought AEDs, when County Commission approved AEDs, the sheriff's department added some to their sergeant vehicles, which was the first time that we have encountered that with the patrol. So I really wanted to be able to call up the personnel on this call, which did include, in fact, a Roane State Community College paramedic student. So we've had, that gentleman has come back today as well, but we want to take the opportunity, if we would, we'll call them up. We do have a CPR recognition pin to give them and a certificate as well. For our staff, obviously, they're allowed to wear it on their uniform. The sheriff has said that they do have specific stuff for their organization, but we'll issue that out to them. And Scott, if you will come up with the CPR pins. So first and foremost, Deputy Scott Lopez. Oh, sneaking up behind me. Congratulations. If you'll stay up, I know they want to take pictures.
Yeah.
Captain Matthew Wilson. Roane State student Chris Lassen, who is well dressed with the orange and white tie. AEMT Riley Hobson. And Commander Ronald Smitty. So this was the crew that responded on October 25th to the call and resulted in a CPR save. So if we would recognize them.
Guys,
I think
you all look this way and I'll take your picture.
I enlisted.
You're in it.
Chairwoman.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you all.
Thank you all. Thank you.
Is Mr. Helton here? Oh, you guys right behind me. I'll have you actually come up too, if you don't mind. So for this next one, the gentleman's actually here. So pretty excited about that. This was not too long ago. It was just February 2nd, 2026. So we're looking at just over a month ago. There was an incident occurring at a church gymnasium in Oak Ridge. About 5:40 p.m., there was a report of somebody possibly having seizures that was called into the dispatch center. And while the 911 telecommunicator was processing calls, identified that this was actually a cardiac arrest call. The telecommunicator started to give CPR instructions over the phone. Shortly thereafter, an Oak Ridge Police Department officer, Isaiah Wilder, who I'm a big fan of, by the way, was the first to arrive on scene and immediately took over CPR. It's, as we're seeing again, it was that early identification, is that early CPR. Shortly thereafter, Oak Ridge Fire Department Engine 3 and Rescue 30 arrived to continue CPR and start providing advanced life support, establishing an intraosseous line, administering medication, and continuing to do highly effective CPR. About 5:50, our Medic 5 unit arrived on scene to assist with the advanced life support care. They apply the chest compression device. They continue to work alongside the Oak Ridge Fire Department personnel to continue to administer multiple cardiac arrest medications and actually delivering in total 4 defibrillations to the patient. Following the 4th defibrillation, the patient regained a pulse and began to breathe on their own. They were transported to the hospital where care continued, and after receiving further treatment in their recovery time, the patient was ultimately discharged from the hospital, not only able to return home, but to be present at this meeting. Highlighting the importance for the chain of survival, again, the 911 telecommunicator giving CPR instructions over the phone, starting CPR immediately. Our first responder organization with Oak Ridge Fire Department's quick response, high-level effective care, and then our staff continuing on that care, transport to the hospital where they received continued care there to get them home. So it's a delight. It's always a delight when we can bring the patient back and have them here. And I'll be honest with you, I know for every provider that's involved with this call, it's the fact of getting to see this gentleman standing here that really highlights what they did. While awards and recognition and your recognition of them means quite a bit, this is why they do it. This is what they will remember. This is what they'll get to point to and tell their family and their friends about, how they helped a gentleman like this. Obviously, they'll tell you I was just doing my job. And they were. But they were doing their job effectively, and they were doing their job quickly, and it mattered a big deal. So, if you'll help, we would like for you to hand out CPR pins when we bring them up. Would that be great?
Madam Chairperson, if you'd allow me also,
100%.
there were two individuals there that I was playing basketball with who also helped in the CPR. That's my friend Dylan and Jake. If we could give them a round of applause.
We'll have them come up. Okay, let's start with telecommunicator Jada Allen. Officer Isaiah Wilder. Captain Courtney McCarter. Firefighter paramedic Chad Lithicum. Firefighter AEMT Anthony Lopez. Firefighter paramedic Brian Gleek. And there was also a firefighter AEMT Joe Campbell who could not make it tonight. Hold on. I'm sorry. Hold on. We got our Medic 5 crew. Advanced paramedic Devin Burnett. I apologize. And AEMT Amber Dalton. Sir? You guys, yeah, please. Please. We'll have them all come up be up here as best as we can. Thank you, sir. Thank you all very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, that finishes our presentation. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Director Sweet. We appreciate that. And thank you all for all your hard work and dedication to what you do every day. You definitely are blessing our community, and we thank you for that. Okay, now we're going to go back and we are going to call forward Commissioner Val. Commissioner Val is going to start out with a proclamation honoring Lucretia Logan.
No, ma'am, I'm just getting my phone.
Good evening, Commissioners. I've asked for these proclamations for tonight in order to honor not only the people that they honor, but to also publicize and to let Commission and our citizens of the county know that we have accomplished something with the Anderson County Sheriff's Office that has never been accomplished before. Not only is it the first time in Anderson County Sheriff's Office history that this has ever occurred, it is the first time in the history of the state of Tennessee that this has occurred. We have 3 officials with the Sheriff's Office who have received the top awards that they could possibly get from the state of Tennessee. And this is the first time for that. If we were comparing this to horse racing, we would have to call this the Triple Crown. We would have to call it the trifecta of awards for law enforcement. And I know I work for the Sheriff's Office, so some people are going to claim that I'm doing it just out of publicity, but it's something that should be honored. It's something that should be talked about, and it's never happened before. And I don't think it's ever happened with any other department anywhere. So I just wanted to bring that to your all's attention tonight. The first one is honoring the jails programs director, a lovely lady by the name of Lucretia Logan. If she would step up here, and I believe she's brought her support staff with her tonight. And the proclamation goes, whereas Director Lucretia Logan has served the citizens of Anderson County with distinction, integrity, and dedication since 2021 as Programs Director at the Anderson County Detention Facility, demonstrating a steadfast commitment to rehabilitation, accountability, and public safety. And whereas Director Logan has developed, implemented, and overseen programs to promote education, life skills, substance abuse treatment, vocational training, and reentry readiness for individuals in custody. And whereas these initiatives have improved institutional operations, enhanced inmate behavior, and increased opportunities for successful reintegration into the community. And whereas Director Logan was honored for her work at the Anderson County Detention Facility at the 2025 Programs Facilitator of the Year by the Tennessee Corrections Institute for her outstanding contributions. Now therefore be it proclaimed that we hereby recognize and commend Director Logan for her exceptional service, professional leadership, and compassion that have positively impacted the lives of countless individuals and strengthened the mission of the Anderson County Detention Facility. Be it further resolved that a copy of this proclamation be given to Director Logan as a token of our appreciation. In witness thereof, we have set our hands and caused this official seal of Anderson County, Tennessee to be affixed on the 16th day of March, 2026. Signed, Denise Palmer, Chair of AC Commission, Terry Frank, Mayor, Jeff Cole, County Clerk.
So I guess I'm going to take my captain out to lunch for all those nice words. I just want to thank everyone for being here. Thank you. I couldn't have done this by myself. This is my team, my captain, really my sheriff, of course, Sheriff Barker, and my chief. They've all had faith in me. They've went along with my crazy ideas, and things actually have went very, very well. So I appreciate you guys. From admin on down to new deputies, everybody has a part and plays a very important part in this, and I'm just glad that we're able to do something, make a difference in this community. Thank you all.
The next one is our jail administrator, Assistant Chief Deputy Zach Allen. And I'm sure the sheriff will mention something about his beard being a Duck Dynasty extra, but we won't take away the sheriff's thunder for that. This proclamation says, whereas Chief Allen has served the citizens of Anderson County with distinction, integrity, and dedication for 14 years as an employee, and 1 year as the jail administrator of the Anderson County Detention Facility, and whereas Chief Allen has upheld the highest standards of facility operations, staff management, inmate safety, and regulatory compliance, and whereas Chief Allen has implemented innovative policies, operational improvement, and programming initiatives that enhance security, efficiency, accountability, and rehabilitation within the detention facility, and whereas in recognition of these exemplary skills, Chief Allen was selected as the 2025 Jail Administrator of the Year by the Tennessee Corrections Institute, an honor reflecting superior performance, integrity, and service to the citizens of Anderson County, Tennessee. Now therefore be it proclaimed that we hereby recognize and honor Assistant Chief Allen for his exceptional leadership, unwavering dedication, and commitment to the safety and well-being of the staff and inmates at the Anderson County Detention Facility. Be it further resolved that a copy of this proclamation be given to Chief Allen as a token of our appreciation. In witness whereof, we have set our hands and caused this official seal of Anderson County, Tennessee to be affixed on the 16th day of March, 2026. Signed, Denise Palmer, Chair of AC Commission, Terry Frank, Mayor, Jeff Cole, County Clerk.
I'll echo a lot of what Director Logan said. This is more for the people that actually do the job day in and day out. And I also want to give a thanks to each and every one of you all. A lot of the stuff we do, from Law Director's Office to Commission, y'all have to approve that and help us get it up and going, so I greatly appreciate it. Thank you.
This one honors our High Sheriff. Of course, those of us that go back to the Andy Griffith show when there was a High Sheriff and you had the Deputy Sheriff, but there are probably a lot of similarities in a positive way that Sheriff Barker brings to the Sheriff's Office, the hometown approach to law enforcement that we still have here in this county, where the Sheriff knows everybody, where everybody knows him. I don't think you get that in all places, and I'm proud to work for a department that emphasizes that we never forget the people that we serve, no matter how big the investigation may be or how big the problem may be that we're having to deal with. Whereas Sheriff Barker has served the citizens of Anderson County with distinction, integrity, and dedication for 8 years, and whereas Sheriff Barker began his career in law enforcement in 2001 and has served as Anderson County Sheriff since 2018, bringing ethical leadership, stability, and public trust to the Sheriff's Department, and whereas Sheriff Barker has mentored countless deputies and fostered a culture of service, protecting the residents, business owners, and visitors in Anderson County, and whereas Sheriff Russell Barker was named 2025 Tennessee Sheriff of the Year by the Tennessee Sheriff's Association for his emergency response and leadership in managing relief efforts to Tennessee communities devastated by Hurricane Helene, and whereas Sheriff Russell Barker was also elected President of the Tennessee Sheriff's Association, and whereas Sheriff Russell Barker has earned the deep and abiding respect of colleagues, community partners, and the public. Now therefore be it proclaimed that we hereby recognize and honor Sheriff Russell Barker for his extraordinary dedication, leadership, and exemplary service to Anderson County, Tennessee. Be it further resolved that a copy of this proclamation be given to Sheriff Barker as a token of our appreciation. In witness whereof, we have set our hands and caused this official seal of Anderson County, Tennessee to be affixed on the 16th day of March 2026. Signed, Denise Palmer, Chair of AC Commission, Terry Frank, Mayor, Jeff Cole, County Clerk.
I can't tell you how much I appreciate the recognition, but out of all honesty, to kind of echo what they said, it is, I'm the beneficiary of this, but it's our staff, it's Commission, Mayor Frank, it's all you guys, it's all of us together. So it's a recognition in all three cases that just really, it's about Anderson County. And I can't tell you how proud we are to be here. 25 was a huge year for us. Chief Allen and Director Logan are really moving the Anderson County detention facility to the top of the heap across the state through their leadership. The Tier 2 achievement being the first in the state to get that. The list literally goes on and on. And I'm telling you, we have some incredible employees, and I couldn't be proud enough of them. The only thing that I would say is we did have one mistake here tonight. Commissioner Val was wrong. It had nothing to do with Duck Dynasty. You may recognize Zach from the A&E series Ginsingers. It was short-lived, but he did make an appearance. But thank you guys so much for your support. We do appreciate it.
Thank you, Commissioner.
Thank you. We appreciate all the hard work that each one of you have done. With that, we are going to move on to a presentation, Civil Air Patrol by the Oak Ridge, put my glasses on, Composite Squadron Commander, Major Stephen Millard.
It's pronounced Mellard.
Millard, okay.
Hello, my name is Major Stephen Mellard. I am the commander of the Oak Ridge Composite Squadron, Civil Air Patrol, Tennessee 170. For over 8 decades, Civil Air Patrol has served the counties of Anderson, Morgan, Roane, and Knox with Civil Air Patrol's 3 major missions, that being the education of the American public in matters of air, space, and aviation, the preparation of our communities for response to natural and unnatural disasters, and the transformation of our youth into civilian and military leaders of the future. Today, I want to recognize 3 individuals in particular who have helped us support this mission. Last year, we had a biannual subordinate unit inspection, which is a way of maintaining the quality of our units. And in this inspection, we found that we needed support from the county government in order to facilitate the documentation. And it was by these individuals that we achieved these documentations, and it is in fact responsible for the continued existence of our charter, so no small feat. And for that, I'd like to recognize Commissioner Ebony Capshaw, Mayor Terry Frank, and Assistant Director Cassandra Powell with certificates of appreciation from Civil Air Patrol, dated today, March 16th, 2026.
Somebody take it. Somebody get a picture.
Oh yeah, can we get a photo, please? Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you.
Thank you, Major Millard. We appreciate that. With that, we will close the proclamation and presentation portion of County Commission, and we will stand in adjournment until 6:40.
hippogriff and the Pledge of Allegiance by Commissioner McNabb. If you'll stand, please.
Let us pray. Dear Heavenly Father, great and almighty God, we just thank you, Lord, for this opportunity to come before you, Lord, and to lay down our troubles and lay down our hearts to you, Lord, but also to lift up the praises that we have. We thank you, Lord, that we live in a nation where we can freely proclaim you, Lord. And we thank you for that. Lord, we'd like to ask that you protect those who are overseas fighting for us, Lord, and that you would protect them. Lord, that you would be with the families who have lost loved ones already, that you would be with those moms and dads and brothers and sisters and husbands and wives and children, Lord. And Lord, I just personally thank you for my family member, Lord, who you have protected while he was away in Kuwait. We thank you for that, Lord. Lord, we just thank you and ask you that you would be with us here tonight, and that you would help us to make the decisions that we need to make, and that we do so with your heart, Lord. We thank you so much, and again, we pray that if there's anyone here, Lord, who is without you and who doesn't have a relationship, Lord, that you would tell them today's the day, Lord, and that they would come to know you. In Jesus Christ's most holy and righteous name, amen.
Attention, salute, pledge. I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, next on the agenda is the appearance of citizens, and over the last couple of months, I've had questions and I have had some just discussion about what appearance of citizens is. So I want to just remind us, maybe inform the ones who do not know, but to remind us that the purpose of this agenda item, appearance of citizens, on the full commission agenda is to provide citizens an opportunity to address their government for items or concerns on and off of the agenda. It is a way, it is an opportunity to address the government. It's not the only way to address us. You can call any of the commissioners, you can text them, all of that is public information. You can set up a meeting, you can attend committee meetings, you can engage in the discussions in the committees. There are many ways to make your concerns known. But during this time, during the appearance of citizens during full commission, commissioners will not engage with the citizen. It's our time to listen to you. It's your time to speak and our time to listen. So there will not be debate, there will not be discussion, there will not be motions made during this time. You will have the floor, all right? The citizen will address the chair, and the civility and decorum will be expected. Now, there is a process to get things onto the agenda, and the main thing is that these issues or concerns need to go through a committee. In committee is where these issues are discussed and debated, and that's where well thought out action items are birthed. So items that do not appear on this full commission agenda or that do appear on this full commission agenda have been through a committee and they are waiting final action. So it's not like we just arbitrarily have done this, put these things on the agenda. They have been discussed and they have been through committee. So a commissioner may add something to the agenda, but the purpose of adding something to the agenda is to determine which committee that will be sent to, that concern or that issue, and it requires a 2/3 vote by commission. So commission meetings are business meetings, and we're here to take that final action of commission business. So our citizens deserve the very best from us, so I just wanted to make sure that we all understood what the appearance of citizen portion of the night was for. So with that, are there any citizens that would like to address this body? Mr. Mullins, if you'll come forward. Were there any other hands? Did I miss any? All right, thank you. Please state your name and address.
My name is Nathan Mullins. I'm from Oak Ridge. We all know good fences make good neighbors. Ben Franklin said it better. Love your neighbor as yourself. Yet, don't pull down your hedges. I'm here again speaking for the moral majority dads of this county about boundaries in your public libraries. For 3 years, I have said that your tax money in these county libraries gives you the voice to set a community standard, preventing grooming materials from being offered to your kids. The Democrat establishment sometimes in the courthouse doesn't see it that way. So we, in the moral majority, have flipped the library board to represent the voting interest of the county's Christian parents. And next, we're going to try and do that at the county commission. Even the respected Tracy Wandell wants to join the GOP. Wants to join the GOP? I thought he asked.
Mr. Chairman.
I understand. Let's try to leave the names out and just make your point, okay?
I respect Mr. Wandell.
All
I
right.
thought he tried to join the GOP. Okay.
I don't think this is the place for that.
Okay. But we, the people, were silenced by refusal to see, hear, or speak any evil about the library problems on certain people's behalf. Now, however, it is time to thank our president, Donald Trump. His executive order breaks the bureaucratic gridlock preventing enforcement of our federal laws and has given new power to the people on behalf of the sanctity of the family. The few have been empowered to turn the tide. These new moral majority library directors we installed now have the power to resist the constant leaking of new grooming materials that have flooded into the library. I encourage we the people to go look at the shelves and see the damage the old library board did. The question was put forth to the director of the Clinton Library during last month's meeting, how did the book Queer Ducks make it back onto the shelf 2 days after the directors told her it had obscene grooming in it, aimed at kids? This constant flood of divisive, liberal, and radical material has been flooding these libraries all over the county, and we have only now been given the power by the president to observe federal obscenity laws. And I would like to say, can we now agree that to love and foster our next generation as neighbors, we are going to have to keep strong fences? Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Mullins. Let me just, thank you. I understand we're in an election year, all right? This podium is not a political stump. It is not the place to get a pound of flesh. It's not the place for 5 minutes of fame, all right? We need to respect these business meetings. We need to treat each other with civility and decorum. Commissioners, I also know that we're all running for election. So this is not the time for us to grandstand or show off or campaign. We need to remember that this is a business meeting and that we need to do what is best for our county. I'm talking to myself as well. So let's leave that out of this room and let's just focus on the business of the county, all right? Are there any other citizens that would like to address this body? All right, seeing none, we'll go on to the approval and correction of the agendas. Let's take the consent agenda first. Do I have a motion to approve the consent agenda? I have a motion by Commissioner McCamey, second by Commissioner Capshaw. Any discussion on this? All those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion passes. All right, next on the regular agenda, let me get a motion and a second, and then we'll have discussion. Commissioner Allen with the motion, Commissioner Capshaw with the second. Discussion, we need to add, you received a letter today. It's a proposal for the natural gas rate increase letter. If we can add that to the mayor's report, and she will discuss it there, and we can have a time of discussion at that point as well. And then I'd also like to pull out of the Director of Finance Budget and Purchasing Report the indexing resolution and move it to first under elected officials above the county mayor. Property Assessor Johnny Alley to give us a report. He has some visitors here, so we'd like to hear them so that they can get on their way. Thank you for being here. Are there any other things to add to the agenda or discussion? Commissioner Yeager.
Thank you. I'd like to take these separately because they have separate numbers to qualify to pass. So the addition is takes 12.
Okay.
And the other item is, what was the other item?
It was just moving the property assessor up under elected officials.
Okay, that's the only thing I believe that we need to have separate vote on.
So 2/3 requires 12.
Right, no, yes.
12 votes. All right. Thank you for that. Any other discussion on the approval of the regular agenda? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes. All right, we did not have a public hearing report, correct? Anything to say?
Nope.
Not sure.
Nope.
All right. All right. Next on the agenda is applications. We have had Commissioner Sabre Beauchamp apply for the Animal Shelter Advisory Committee. I have a motion by Commissioner Yeager, a second by Commissioner Allen. Any discussion on this application? Commissioner Yeager.
It's not a question on the application, but I just wonder how far along we are of filling this. I see we have another 2 to vote on later. Do we have an idea? Will this complete the advisory board?
There'll be 2 more. One needs to be that veterinarian type position or those higher qualifications that were listed in that resolution. But this will give us a quorum. I'm looking at having the first meeting on March 24th at 4 p.m. Is that Tuesday, March 24th? And then have a few more discussions with some of the applicants and get the last citizen appointed, and then try to find a veterinarian.
Okay, thank you.
Commissioner Yeager, this does fill the 3 commissioner spots, so this is the last spot that we needed to fill. Any other discussion on this application? All of those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes. Next on the agenda is the presentation of reports, and I'll ask our property assessor, Johnny Alley, to come forward. You have a resolution in your budget packet, so we're moving that resolution up to this time. If you'll introduce your guests, that'd be awesome.
Okay. With me from the Department of Property Assessments in Nashville, Brian Duggan, Randy Helton, and Brett Bombeck. They're here to answer questions, help me explain some of the indexing, the multiple questions that come up with indexing and with actually reappraisal itself. Thank you for having me. The reason I'm here tonight is to have indexing attached to the 2025 reappraisal plan that we've already done, the 4-year reappraisal. With that 4-year plan, we removed 1 year of the ratio study, which cost the county approximately $2 million over the last 4 years. Moving forward, with a 4-year, we're still going to have 1 year of ratio. But if you adopt the indexing, that takes the property to 100% in the second year, and there wouldn't be a second ratio. There wouldn't be any ratios. Did I say that good enough, gentlemen? But anyway, so that's what I'm looking for, is a vote to index in the second year, and that would have to be added to the plan approved by the state for the Division of Property Assessments, then by the State Board of Equalization, and they meet in April. I know this is a lot to come quick, but we didn't find out about it, that we could amend our schedule till mid-January, and the division was coming up to give us talks on the weather, so we didn't really have a meeting on it till like the second week in February. So I'm not trying to rush it in as a.
All right. We have a motion by Commissioner McCamey, a second by Commissioner Allen to approve this resolution to index. Any discussion on this item? Commissioner Vandegrift.
If I remember correctly, because of the Oak Ridge area, we needed to confer with Roane County on whether that they were going to do indexing.
Well, I mean, you can vote independent, but we have to be in agreement together.
Yes.
If it, Roane County met last Monday night, and I went to that meeting, and they passed it 14-1 in Roane County, and if we pass this tonight, then it'll go into effect for both counties, yes.
Commissioner Smallridge.
Yeah. Could we have a very brief explanation of indexing? Just very simple.
Very quickly, it's in the second year would normally be a ratio to see the difference of what's assessed versus what the actual property is selling for. But with the with indexing, it brings if you would, a mini reappraisal that occurs in the second year that brings all properties to 100% value, and a new certified tax rate set at that time. So the certified tax rate would be visited too to set the new revenue. Okay. And it helps with the budgeting process as well. You don't have to worry about how much ratio you're going to lose. Where, like I said, it was $2 million over the last 4 or 5, during the last reappraisal cycle.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Commissioner Anderson.
Thank you, Madam Chair. So with the new certified tax rate, that's going to cause the same thing that we just came through, where some people are going to pay more and some people might pay less.
Right, but the difference is going to just be within 2 years. It's not going to be a 5-year wait, so there won't be sticker shock, if you would, where it went up 80% roughly, 85.
Okay.
And on the residential side, it's going to be, the move shouldn't be that much. And different areas of the county would be different. It'll be broken off into, what's that, quadrants or neighborhood codes. Counties, we've already had it divided for 10 years into neighborhood codes, but that would put those into effect where you can look at what properties are selling for more in those areas. And it would be up to this body to do with the certified tax rate what, still just like a regular reappraisal.
All right, Commissioner Allen.
Thank you, Madam Chairman. So if other properties will be indexed at the same time, will it be staggered?
They'll be at the same time. Same time.
Commissioner Barron.
Yeah, so you're saying with indexing, as property values rise, the property tax for that property goes up the same way?
Hello, Ryan Duggan, Assistant Director for the Comptroller of the Treasury's Division of Property Assessments. What you asked, I think, Commissioner, was if the values raise, do the tax amount also raise? Was that your question?
Yeah.
Yeah, no. The certified tax rate process that was talked about earlier is revenue neutral. So what indexing does is it allows Johnny and his office to statistically, in that second year where we normally have a ratio and we study what the assessments of your county are doing as compared to the market that's actually changing, instead of just studying it, he will take neighborhoods broken down to show appreciation or depreciation, if it flips around, change the values, and then we would go through the certified tax rate process again. So it's revenue neutral either way. If values go up or if values were to go down, the tax amount for the jurisdiction as a whole would be revenue neutral.
Any other questions or any discussion?
Hey, Madam Chair.
Commissioner Hess.
Johnny, what's the estimated cost that will be attached to that? Will there be an increase? Obviously, your offices probably need, some more help.
Yeah, that was something I talked to budget last week. I would like to get at least 2 new employees. I've got 3 that's going to be, 5 actually, potential retire in the next 3 years. And all this is trying to blend it all together. I think with 2 in a vehicle, I can do that. Possibly, the minimum I would need to be 1 employee, I believe, because I'm going to have to do sales verifications outside of the normal reappraisal. But with that, you know, that's cost shared as part of cost of reappraisal. It's only 50% to the county, when we'll bill it out to the, you know, to the cities for cost share. But yes, there would be an increase.
Any other discussion? All right, I think this may need to be a board vote. Do you think? Yeah. Josh, can we do a board vote, please? We'll need a majority. Motion passes. All right. Thank you, Mr.
Thank you all.
Alley. Thank you.
Appreciate you.
Billy Brown, you're back there. We see you. Thank you for coming too. Thank you, gentlemen, for being here tonight to answer questions. All right. Next on the agenda will be County Mayor Terry Frank.
Thank you, Chairman. The first item on the agenda, I'm requesting a motion to approve Resolution 2601-1247, authorizing the county mayor and the delinquent tax attorney to file for relief with the court on a property purchased at a tax sale. I have that in your agenda packet. I took this to operations in January where it passed. We had a pause to be able to try to work with the city of Rocky Top. This particular property is known as the Hoskins Oil property. I know that the mayor was still trying to work with his attorney. At this point in time, our delinquent tax attorney, as well as the environmental firm that I asked look into this property, we have not ironed everything out, and it would leave the county in a potential situation where we might be held liable for any liabilities on that property. So what I suggested to the mayor is this property would go back into the tax sale, so we're looking at another 6 or 7 months. It's not going anywhere because it's delinquent. The only thing that could happen would be that the owner pays their back taxes and makes good on all of the judgments that are sitting out there. But it does give us more time if it comes back into the county's possession again to work something with the city of Rocky Top. But we only have 120 days from the time we take ownership to be able to get something done, or it is ours. And so to make the wise decision, I think we need to file before that deadline is up.
All right. We have a motion by Commissioner Allen, a second by Commissioner Yeager to approve resolution number 2601-1247. Any discussion on this resolution? Commissioner Isbell.
Thank you, Madam Chairman. Mayor,
Yes.
you spoke with Mayor Tim.
We've communicated. I put like a plan of action in writing to him. He said he was going to get back with me, that he was working with an attorney, and I haven't heard anything today. So
Okay.
I know there's a willingness to work with the city of Rocky Top on, they have some penalties and interest that they are assessing against the owner. I think the city is very open to working. Like if, for instance, if we took ownership of that, they would be interested in working with us. But there is another judgment out there on that property. That's what we need to be able to work out, because certainly we don't want Anderson County to somehow get entangled in that.
Okay.
So this will just give us a little more time to be able
All right,
to
but
do
it
that.
doesn't put the city in a precarious position at all, does it? In other words, I mean, they're not going to be left out in what their taxes and things that they're due.
No, and so that is part of the issue. So if we, I mean, there's, the last I checked, I think there was $55,000 owed, but that continues to accrue. Part of that is Rocky Top's interest, or their penalties, interest, and taxes. And so when it goes, if we do not take ownership of this, it will stay in a state of delinquency where both the county taxes are owed and the city taxes are owed. And then what is going to happen is Mr. Cry will put it back into the tax sale again. If there is a purchaser, other than the county, they will have to pay at the date of the sale the current taxes that are owed. That's the minimum bid. So it would have to be whatever is owed to make Anderson County whole and any municipality, which in this case would be Rocky Top.
What about the state? I think the state has a lien for cleaning it up as well. How does that come into play?
Well, that's the issue about Anderson County taking ownership of it. Yes, yes, that's what we're trying to get worked out.
Okay, because does the state take first position?
That would be a yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
I'm not sure exactly who gets cut off by the sale and which does not.
Okay, because the state would have to be, is somewhere, I mean, their lien would have to be taken care of as well.
Either be cut off or have to be honored.
Okay, all right.
And it's a pretty considerable judgment. I don't believe I put it in the packet, but I want to say it was a very, very
significant.
Yes.
Yes, it is.
Yes.
Yeah. And that's what concerns me, is if that's got to be paid as well, you know, it's because that's going to be about 4 times more than what the property's actually worth.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
Any other discussion, questions? All right, seeing none, all in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion passes.
The next item is I'm requesting a motion to confirm the following appointments. Steve Phillips for the Animal Shelter Advisory Committee, and if you'll recall, the resolution has the initial round of appointees must be appointed in staggered terms. Okay. And so Mr. Phillips for a 1-year term, and then Les Hunt for the Animal Shelter Advisory Committee for a 2-year term. And I'm requesting a motion to confirm.
All right, we have a motion by Commissioner Allen, second by Commissioner Yeager. Is there any discussion on these appointments? Seeing none, all in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion passes.
The next 3 items are status items. The shelter statistics are in your agenda packet. The Anderson County 2025 report by the Knox County Regional Forensic Center is in your report, and the full report that does the very detailed breakdown of information for the type of drugs that are used, all of those details about injuries, that will be in a further report that is getting wrapped up. The next one is a notice of public auction. So we have 6 county-owned properties that Anderson County did come into possession of. Those will be auctioned off at the Anderson County Chamber on March 26th at 12 p.m. It's both live in person, and then they also have an online component for that particular auction. And then the last item is the new business. Normally I would not ask for a new business, but this is non-controversial politically, and so, but it does have a time component. As many of you have probably heard from your constituents, the gas bills for, I think there are 1 out of 3 individuals are using natural gas. They have been through the roof. And of course, we had an extremely cold winter. We also had a lot of demand, even in other areas. You saw what was happening in Middle Tennessee with a lot of power that was off. In this particular case, it's not all about the cold weather and demand. East Tennessee Natural Gas, which is a subsidiary of a Canadian company, Enbridge Inc., has increased their rates. 123% increase to the rates for Tennessee customers, and 178% increase in the liquefied natural gas storage service. What has happened is 26 municipal utilities, this includes our Powell Clinch Utility District as well as Oak Ridge Utility District, have joined together and are pushing back against this and filing a request with FERC that this be pushed back and reduced. The congressional officials have signed a letter that I did include when I sent this out. The utilities are saying that it would be very helpful to have a vote of commission or a letter from the mayor, from some locals that can be sent to the federal officials to stress the importance of this particular effort. I did ask what happens if FERC actually does make a decision, or it's like a hearing or court case. If they are required to lower those rates, does it just start from the moment of an order? And they said no, that it would go back to when the rate increase took place, so it would go retroactive. So I can write the letter myself, but I thought in this particular case, I know it's important to all of your constituents as well, and so I was asking for a motion to approve. I put a draft letter in there, and of course I'm open to changing that. That's just a draft for you all to look at, and if you like it, see if we can get a motion to approve.
All right, we have a motion by Commissioner Anderson. Is that to approve the letter as written? Yes. Okay, and second by Commissioner Allen. Is there any discussion on this letter? Any questions or discussion? All right, all those in favor of the motion say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion passes.
Thank you, Commissioners.
All right. Next on the agenda is Circuit Court Clerk Rex Lynch.
Pursuant to TCA 40-1-111, Judge Bowling and Judge Tuck has nominated Nancy Schultz to be a judicial commissioner. So they are recommending her to be approved, and her term will expire August 31st of this year. So I'm presenting her name for your all's approval.
All right.
And we need that spread on the minutes of your all's meeting.
All right. So we have a motion by Commissioner Yeager, a second by Commissioner Allen. Is there any discussion or questions? Is this fulfilling a term, or is it?
Well, it's not really fulfilling a term. Actually, we
like
had
someone stepped out and she's filling in?
Yeah, someone moved outside the county, and so we need somebody that actually signs warrants in Oak Ridge, and so we're going to add her to the list in Oak Ridge.
Okay. Sounds awesome. Any other discussion? Seeing none, all in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion passes. Thank you. All right, next we'll have our department heads. Director of Finance, Bobby Holbrook.
Okay, cash and fund balance report from ending February 2026. The general fund, restricted funds are $1,067,000, committed $341,225. Assigned funds, $1.7 million. Unassigned fund balance is at $11.3 million. Total fund balance, $14.5 million. Cash, $20,107,551, which is $5.2 million less than last February at this time.
How much less?
$5.2 million.
$5.2 million.
Yes.
Thank you.
Any questions? Fun?
I don't see any. We'll move on.
Okay. Sales tax report. The county as a whole, 5.4 million, up 8.7% from last January. And Anderson County's portion, 704,177, which is a 16.8% increase from last January. State's always 2 months behind on our revenues, so. If there's no questions, I'll move on to the ARPA projects. We still have 6 projects remaining, $1,013,000 left in spending, $31,589 in interest accumulated so far. That's still available. Any questions there? All right, and the grant inventory list for Anderson County. No new grants. Current year grants, we have a total of $27,563,145, and indirect costs recovery, $23,795. Any questions on any of those reports?
All right, let's move on.
All right. Group 2 purchasing contracts. There are 18 contracts this month. All have been approved by the law director at this time.
All right, I need a motion to approve these contracts. We have a motion by Commissioner Yeager, second by Commissioner Allen. Any discussion or questions on these contracts? Seeing none, all in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion passes.
Okay, thank you. And we have Group 3, page 3, purchasing under Section 6 is the capital assets surplus request. There are 2 school nutrition refrigerators that are we're seeking surplus on.
All right, we have a motion by Commissioner Allen, second by Commissioner McNabb. Any questions or discussion on these capital asset surplus? Seeing none, all in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries.
Okay, thank you. Moving to Group 4, appropriations from the school department. There are 4 of those. Seeking approval as a group. I could answer any questions you might have.
All right, we have a motion by Commissioner Allen, second by Commissioner Varon. Are there any discussion or questions on these appropriations? Seeing none, let's go to the board and vote. Sherry's bill, is it not working?
I vote aye. The board's not, it's not working. It's coming up. I got it. I got it.
There it goes. All right. Just needed your attention. All right, let's see, motion passes.
Thank you. Also, Group 5 transfers from the school department. There are four of those as well.
Motion by Commissioner Allen, second by Commissioner McNabb. Any questions or discussion on these transfers? Seeing none, let's go to the board and vote. Motion passes.
Thank you. Group 6, appropriations non-school. There are 6 of those, 2 from the highway, fleet, conservation, EMS, and animal control.
We have a motion by Commissioner Allen, second by Commissioner Smallridge. Any discussion or questions on these appropriations? Seeing none, let's go to the board and vote. Motion passes.
All right, thank you. Under miscellaneous, Group 9, Section A, grant applications. There are 5 of those. Just applications for grants. We need approval from this body.
All right, we have a motion by Commissioner Allen, second by Commissioner Capshaw. Is there any discussion or questions on these applications? Seeing none, all in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion passes.
Thank you. Section B was the fiscal year 26-27 proposed budgets. I don't need a vote here, but there was a motion to send all budgets back and ask for a 2% cut, if possible, to each department. Section C was, there was no action taken on that. It'll be in the next budget discussion. We covered Section D earlier tonight, reappraisal options indexing. Section F under new business, the sheriff retention payments and rollover payments. There was a motion made. Find it really quick. Anyway, there was a motion made to give the sheriff and department employees a $3,200 retention payment out of rollover funds from the sheriff department if in June if the funding was there. They possibly could be lower depending on the funding. And that motion passed in the budget committee.
All right, I need a motion to approve this. I have a motion by Commissioner Vandergrift, second by Commissioner McNabb. Is there any discussion or questions on this motion? Commissioner Wandell.
Thank you, Madam Chairman. So the motion reads, if I'm reading the right one here,
Motion by Commissioner McNabb, seconded by Commissioner Vandergrift, to give retention bonus checks to the Sheriff's Department in the amount dictated by available rollover funds from the Sheriff's budget. So what is this motion we're voting on? I'm not saying I'm against it. I just would like to know what the actual number is going to be, and I understand we don't know yet until we get the rollover, but I'd rather understand exactly what we're approving here versus
I apologize, and that should have been put in the minutes. The initial request is for $3,200 for each employee. And if the rollover money is not there, then that would come down. But that's why we put in the motion available rollover funds from the Sheriff Department, dictated by that.
So 3,200?
Yes, sir.
And that's for every employee
In the Sheriff's
board.
Department.
Thank you.
Across the Sheriff's Department?
Yes, ma'am.
For the Sheriff,
Yep,
yes.
yep, yep.
Commissioner McCamey.
So the motion about the budget committee to send all budgets back and have a 2% decrease in their budget. And then we turn around and here we're giving an increase in this one budget, so.
Do you have anything to say? Yeah, about that?
The difference is the 2% cut is for next year's budget, 26-27. These retention payments would be out of the current funding this year's budget from leftover funds from the Sheriff's Department.
But don't we generally use rollover money and balance?
Yes, sir.
next year's budget?
We do.
So we're not doing that, but we're asking them to cut 2% of the proposed budget.
Yes, but that's the motion that was made in Budget Committee.
Well, I'll have to vote against it, but we're picking departments to give raises to and not others, so I'll vote against it.
Just a minute. Commissioner Vandergrift, did you? No? Okay.
Sheriff. I have plenty to say. So, Commissioner McCamey, again, this is monies that you guys have already given us. We have met approximately 4 times between Budget Committee and workshops. We have returned, in my tenure as sheriff, $8.5 million back. And again, as I've said countless times, this is not about it being greedy deputies. It's market driven. We're hemorrhaging with staff, and it's something new that we're seeing on the operations side. The 2 latest examples have been 2 SROs have left us to go to the city of Oak Ridge to be SROs, and they got a $10,000 raise. We have been working with the Budget Committee on the proposed raises that I've asked for, and we believe this retention payment, a couple of things. 1, it's not new money we're asking for. 2, it is about making sure that those that might be on the fence, considering going to Knox County or wherever, that if they'll hang in there with us, this gives them a little incentive. That's why we're making it the 3rd week of June, because we don't want to pay this and then they leave us anyway, right? We're asking them to stick around and let's see what happens in the new budget cycle, right, with these requests that we've made. In addition to that, we believe that for the employees who are staying with us, they need to be rewarded for that, because they can go literally in any direction. They can go across the street and get a pay raise. So those that are staying with us, we want to reward them as well. And again, we're not asking you to dip into anything. This is money that we have anyway. And we have, as I've said time and time again, we're good stewards with the taxpayers' money. $8.5 million in 7 years is quite a bit, and that's outside of what we've generated through the board bill. That was $14.9 million. We're anticipating hitting $3.5 million this year. We just think it's time, and I get your argument, because I totally understand that this body has to look out for all county employees, just like I have to look out for both my corrections and my operations. But this is market driven. No other department is losing people at this pace to other government entities because of pay. It's only us. And And I've got the whole thing that I'm sure you'll hear as we get in further into budget season, but it's market driven, and we are, I think, honestly, public safety is the anchor for any community, whether we're asking people to come in and open businesses here, we're asking people to move here to Anderson County. Without safe community, it's for nothing.
Yes.
What, in your next year's budget, what type of raise are you proposing for your employees?
15% is what we've asked for.
15%?
Yes.
Commissioner McCamey, will you use your microphone, please?
What's been been recommended for
I'm sorry.
general fund county employees?
There hasn't been yet. We haven't got that far in the budget yet.
I mean, are the budgets coming in at 15% also?
No.
No?
No. Departments were asked a no increase budget. We've
They
had
asked
some
for a
that
no
had.
increase budget?
That's what the guidelines were.
So no pay raise for?
Well, we typically look at pay raises when we look at our revenue and see what we have. We've given raises the last 5 to 7 years that I'm aware of, and up to 21% the last 5 years. So, and for the sheriff's department, even more than that. So yes, we've given raises every year.
Okay.
Yeah. Commissioner Yeager.
Thank you. Sheriff, what is your staffing shortage by patrol, SRO kind of idea?
So we're currently down 2 SROs. Is that, Chief? And how many are we down on patrol? We're down 6 right now on patrol. And we know that others have applied because we're getting the calls, right? We've primarily lost the bulk of them to Knox County, 1 to THP and 1 to the TBI. He's working out his notice now, and most recently the two SROs went to the city of Oak Ridge to be an SRO. And guys, I get it. It's shocking number. It really is. But at the end of the day, we're the only ones experiencing this. That's really it. And again, as I've said countless times too, this body has been really good to us during my administration. Honestly, you truthfully have. And this is a problem that you guys didn't create, that I didn't create. This happened well before most of you, or probably all of you, were even on commission. There was a time when there was 0 raises or 0.5% raise, 1 or 2% raises, and that's where we fell behind. It was the early 2000s. Things were different back then. So you didn't create this problem, but you did sign up to fix it by sitting here tonight. And I understand that it's a tough pill for some people to swallow, that the sheriff's department gets singled out. But again, it is literally market driven, period. And I have my whole argument that I won't go into tonight about why we're different. But it's nothing you haven't heard before, but it's worth reminding you. And we have a whole PowerPoint presentation we've shared with budget, and we've had some reach out to get a copy of it. I'll give that same copy to anybody on this board.
Commissioner Smallridge.
Yeah, Sheriff, where did the 3,200 come from, that number?
We were anticipating probably just over $800,000, and so we were looking at how much of it was payroll, because with anything in payroll, we don't have to get commission's approval if it's within payroll, but we pulled from some other line items to get the amount up to 32. We feel like that will give us a good spot to show our employees that we're with them and that they're worth that to us.
I have a couple other
Go ahead.
questions, yeah. You said this would cover all employees.
Correct, except myself.
What if you have someone that's not performing, to your expectations? would they get the raise too?
Yeah, it would be for everyone that's in the sheriff's office currently, or as of the third week of June.
And then last question.
Okay.
How will this affect you? How do you think this will affect your request for a 15% increase for the coming budget?
I would imagine that it wouldn't impact it at all, because this is currently money that you have already given us, that you've grown accustomed to us returning. So this is nothing new, and I can't imagine it would have anything to do with the upcoming budget, because this is literally a one-time payment.
Commissioner Anderson?
I think Commissioner McNabb had.
Oh, I'm sorry, McNabb.
Thank you, Madam Chairwoman. As the maker of this motion and Budget Committee, I wanted to add a few comments for this discussion. This does come out of 4 months of context of the sheriff coming to Budget Committee. I think it started in December. At one point, the Budget Committee did ask the sheriff come up with some ideas, come up with something outside the box. He did come back with this. This seems like a no-brainer to me. I'm in full support of it. Earlier tonight, we just saw, again, I know everyone was here, but Sheriff of the Year, Jail Administrator of the Year, Program Director of the Year. The sheriff says he's having a problem keeping people. This is a retention bonus. He thinks this will help. It just, again, it seems like a no-brainer to me, and I wanted to remind everyone that this has been an ongoing discussion in Budget Committee. We've worked really, really hard on this. He thinks this will help. And just how proud I am of the Sheriff's Department. I did want to say one other thing. When you look at, everyone here is, connoisseur of local news. When you turn on the local news, you do see problems at other sheriff's offices. I won't name them, in neighboring counties. You're not seeing that at our Sheriff's Department. It's very well ran, and to me, I just, this makes a lot of sense. So, thank you.
Now, Commissioner Anderson.
Thank you, Madam Chair. And I support this. I think we're kind of out of options, but I just wanted to clarify, we're down to our SROs, but we've got coverage at all the schools, right?
Yes.
I mean, so there's,
Yeah.
And that's kind of the priority.
What we do with that is when we have a open school, generally we sign up, pay overtime to have another certified officer cover that.
Okay, thanks. I just wanted to clarify for people listening that we don't have two schools that aren't.
No, not at all.
Thank you.
Commissioner Isbell.
Thank you, Madam Chairman. Sheriff, I understand that we're down 6 on patrol. What's your plan? Of course, I'm going to support this, but what's your plan for patrol? Because especially representing the rural part, the most rural part of Anderson County, that's probably the talked about thing that I get most of all, especially from New River, is trying to increase patrol over there. But for 6 patrol, 6 down on patrol, what's your plan for that?
So we are offering overtime to help cover these shifts, but the truth of it is, we're stopping short of mandatory in it, right? Mm-hmm. But we do have staff minimums that we have to run. That we believe that's the very absolute lowest we can go. The pay that we're currently offering, and part of that PowerPoint, I showed you guys the Budget Committee, I should say. We showed the post that I put on my Sheriff Barker page saying we were hiring, and then we went through the comments. Literally, out of 60, 70 comments, there was not a single positive comment about our pay. Why that is relevant and why it's important is that it's also showing that we're not retaining people, but we're not attracting people. We have turned down some applications because we're finding that we're getting officers from other agencies that have some baggage with them, right? So to your point, we're just managing our staff and doing the very absolute best we can, and we're kind of doing that through intelligence-led policing, where the hot spots are and where we're seeing the crime, and trying to concentrate on those areas. I get those same calls. We've not seen a patrol car out this way in a while. And look, at the end of the day, if we cannot get to where we're competitive in pay, then we're always going to be behind. And honestly, we're going to show up if we don't get a penny, we're going to show up, right? Because it's what we signed up to do.
Exactly.
However, I will tell you this: we're going to, if we hemorrhage much more, we're going to have to start looking at being realistic in the sense that I'm mandated by the state for the big four, is what they call it, right? Court security, civil process, the jail, and keeping the peace. Keeping the peace isn't proactive patrol. It's just not. We may have to reduce services if we can't get this fixed. And
More or
that's
less
just really where we're at.
Reactive, in other words.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
We'll be more like the fire department.
Okay.
We'll come when we're called.
And one of the reasons why I say this is because coming up next month, we're going to discuss rails to trails. And it looks like it's possible that a private corporation may end up purchasing that, and there'd be 42 miles of trail there for somebody to maintain and patrol. And it's, you know, it could be to WRA, it's going to be the Sheriff's Department. I mean, that's going to be something additional too. So that's just food for thought.
Yeah, and listen, and I promise you, it doesn't. I don't miss the fact that this is all kind of shocking to some of you because it's the first you're hearing of it, right? But I promise you, we have done our best. We do our absolute best of being as deliberate with our money and our assignments as we can be. We have, again, I believe, done an excellent job with taxpayers' money, and we're in need of help, and we're asking you for it.
Commissioner Vandergriff, are you finished?
No, I'm done.
Okay.
I just had a couple of comments to Commissioner McCamey. The estimated rollover from budget, what we talked about in budget, was the estimated rollover was going to be approximately a little bit over $800,000, if I'm correct.
That's
on
correct.
that. So with the $3,200 per employee retention, that was going to come out to about 552,000.
Yes.
56.
In that neighborhood, yeah.
56,000. So they're estimated there would still be some rollover there that we would receive back from the Sheriff's Department. The other thing that I wanted to bring up was Knox County is being very open about the fact that they're going to come back and ask for a 10% raise.
They
so
are.
I think I think it's just a hope, a good faith effort to retain some of the valuable employees that we have, because they already know Knox County is going to ask for 10. They may not get it, but they're going to ask for 10. So again, I think it's just a goodwill gesture to say we see you, you're important, and hold on and let us work on this issue.
That's exactly what it is. It's just to show that we're moving the needle, right? As we try to figure out and tackle this 15% that we need. And again, this is in the sense of it's not new money we're asking for. It's already there in the budget.
Commissioner Capshaw.
Just as a reminder, what is the starting pay again for?
$22.98.
Okay.
$22.82.
$22.82. Okay, I want to say about 5 years ago when I looked, it was like $18 and what, 60? I think it was like $18.66. So it's went up a little bit. I just want to make comments. I am going to be in support of this. When I did the jail tour in September, while I was there, I asked your deputies, you didn't know I did this, but while I was there, I got to hang out with them and talk to them, and I asked, how many of y'all have left and come back? And I had about 5 that I talked to, and I said, well, why did you come back? Why did you, well, first of all, why did you leave? And they said, well, the pay wasn't enough, and I needed to support my families. One was gone for about 10 years. He said he'd come back. He said, I had to come back because of the culture. They treated me well here in Anderson County. He said, at that time I had to make that financial decision to be able to support my family, but I'm now in a better place. My kids are older, that I can come back here, but I love the culture. I love the people of Anderson County, and that's why I come back here. And that is the consensus of those 5 that have left and come back. I asked was the pay, but now they're in a position of that they're able to serve our county with the pay that we had that they've gotten, but they had to make that decision to try to take care of their families. And so with that, I want to let you know that I am going to be in support of this, but looking at the numbers that you had on that board when I was there, I saw how everyone was leaving. But I also talked to a new recruit that just came in the first class. I just happened to run into him in passing in public. And I was like, hey, I see you're a new sheriff's deputy. He's like, yes, ma'am. He's like, I've been wanting to do this all my life. And I love my county and I want to be able to serve. And so we want to keep people like that in our county. So I thank you for what you do.
Thank you.
Commissioner Allen.
Thank you. I will be supporting this. We do have a atmosphere in our county now in which more and more businesses are coming here. And we want to make sure that these businesses feel safe, that they can come to our county knowing that our sheriff's department is fully employed. I think that's a good stance to have business-wise. So I will be supporting this.
Thank you.
Okay, Commissioner McCamey.
Yeah. I'm not going to vote no, but I'm not going to vote yes. I would encourage every other department to come into the budget committee and ask the same thing, that they be allowed to use their rollover funds.
All right, thank you.
May I address that?
Let me get Commissioner Val. Commissioner Val.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I just want to go on the record, I'll be abstaining for cause. I don't want to. In the past, I've been able to exempt, so I could vote for the men and women of the sheriff's office getting a raise and exempt myself from it. But the experts down in Nashville have advised me against that, so I will be abstaining for cause on this, but I certainly hope it passes. Thank you, Madam Chair.
All right. We have spent a lot of time on this, so
Okay, I
we're
understand.
going to go ahead and vote. I do want to make just a quick comment. I was one of the ones in the budget that wanted to deal with the emergency patrol officers and jailers. I made an amendment. That amendment failed. And the only reason I did that was because we didn't know the full scope of the county budget, and we really didn't know what our revenues, there was just so many unknowns, okay? Has nothing to do with the value. I think we need to solve a more long-term, not just this one time, but a more long-term solution. I do want to point out that there are other departments in public safety that have this same issue. And I've used EMS. They have a hard time getting EMTs and paramedics. So I just wanted to make those comments before we vote. But I think you guys are doing a great job, and I appreciate everything that you do, Sheriff. Thank you for coming and fighting for your department. All right, so the motion is, yes.
Just to be clear up the cost, because that is the cost for the $3,200 raise for everybody, but retirement, Social Security, Medicare, it comes to $621,000. So I just wanted to make that clear. It's
Okay.
not 500. So we have to add those in as well.
All right, and so this does not affect, this is a one-time rollover money. It does not affect the salaries for the upcoming budget.
No.
In any way.
It does not. And
Okay.
for this to happen, there will need to be budget amendments in June to payroll codes. And so
All right.
it will come back in June.
And just for the record, do we typically allow departments to use the rollover money in the way that Commissioner McCamey has just addressed as well? Has that
I
been
would
done?
not feel comfortable doing that unless they come up here and ask for your all's approval like the sheriff did. I've had departments ask for bonuses in the past with money they've had left over, and I've said no.
Okay.
Because they were quite large, and I'm not making that call. I think that should be not every department has rollover money for one thing, so
Okay.
it's not fair to those that don't to just let
All
others
right.
use what they have, so.
Just for
Not saying that-
clarification.
Just for all departments.
Yeah, well, and this is kind of an emergent situation.
Agreed.
All right. All right, we're going to go to the board and vote on this one, please. Motion passes.
Okay, thank you. And Section F, other new business, there were 2 amendments that we approved earlier and 2 contracts that were approved earlier. And that's all I have tonight.
All right, we did approve those
Yes,
23
we did.
earlier, okay.
Yes.
All right, thank you so much. All right, let me get my thank you, Sheriff.
Robbie, I'm behind you here.
Right here.
It's me.
Commissioner Yeager. I'm sorry, I missed that, sorry.
I don't know why. I just have one small bookkeeping item. Item 7 doesn't balance with the in and out money. It's off by just a little bit, but just wanted you to see it.
There was 2 that was brought to my attention. I was actually going to give Annette corrected minutes. That the young lady that does our budget amendments, when she was loading them, it didn't work out. So I will get that corrected and give those to Annette too, as for to put in the county commission minutes. I apologize. I should have mentioned that earlier.
All right. Thank you, Robbie. All right, next on the agenda is the Director of Schools. Dr. Parrott is not with us here tonight, so you have the report there. If you have any questions, call him next week after spring break. Law Director's report, Mr. Brooks.
Thank you very much from the report we submitted to operations. I don't really have anything except I do need to add orally. We got a new lawsuit in at the end of the week after we went to press, and it is Llewellyn versus Anderson County Schools and/or Anderson County, Tennessee. I think it's going to wind up being Anderson County Schools because it happened on school property. In any event, it's covered by the insurance, which has already been turned in.
All right, thank you. If there's any questions, are there any questions for the Law Director? All right, seeing none, let's move on to our committee reports. We'll begin with the Operations Committee. Commissioner Isbell.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Commissioner Foster made a motion to approve resolution number 26-01-1246 along with road committee approval for the acceptance of the proposal of the Tennessee Department of Transportation construct a project designated as federal project number STP-170 parentheses 16, state project number 01024-1224-14, 01024-0224-14, seconded by Commissioner Wandell. Motion passed forward to full commission for approval.
All right, I have a motion by Commissioner Wandell, second by Commissioner Barron. Any discussion on this resolution? Seeing none, all in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion passes.
Commissioner Wandell made a motion for the mayor to write a letter to TDOT, request emergency funding be set aside for Highway 16 for current and all future emergency repairs that may be needed. Seconded by Commissioner McCamey. Motion passed forward to full commission for approval.
All right, I have a motion by Commissioner Capshaw, second by Commissioner McNabb. Any discussion on this letter that the mayor will write for TDOT, to TDOT? I have a couple of questions. Mayor, is there repair being done now to Highway 116?
There was a lot of discussion at operations. I mean, there are ongoing issues, especially because a lot of the water, some topics were brought up about cleaning the ditch lines out. One of the areas that was, I think, the impetus for the letter has been repaired. That was the slide area, but there still is another long-standing issue that needs repair. And I think, I don't want to put words in the mouth of the operations members, but I think that was the real driver, that there be urgency there as well.
Okay.
They do have a plan. I think the plan was to let that contract out for bid later in the year, so they do have a work plan for that other repair area.
Okay.
But I think the desire was to make sure that there's attentiveness to this particular road.
All right, and so, all right, thank you. Any other questions or discussion? All right, seeing none, all in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion passes.
Commissioner Foster made a motion for the law director to draft a written agreement to accept a 501c3 proposal to the Veterans Service Office, seconded by Commissioner McCamey. Motion passed unanimously to forward to full commission for approval.
All right, we have a motion by Commissioner Wandell, second by Commissioner McCamey. Any discussion? Commissioner Yeager.
Thank you. Would this be crafted as a foundation type of thing? Because we have foundations for Family Justice Center, and I think, does the seniors have a 501c3 attached to there?
I think they did. This particular, I think what the reference in the motion to is there is a 501c that they would like, the original individual that was the organizing power, if you will, or was World War II veteran William Ward. He passed away. It was his vision that there be a Veterans Museum. And the folks that have run this 501c would like to keep that alive, but they want to shut down the 501c. So the motion is for Mr. Brooks to put in place some agreement that we can accept their money, and their intent is to close down their 501c. We would accept it in Anderson County, put it in a restricted code. Robbie has worked with Scott on that, Scott Nation, and it would be restricted for a purpose to support all of the museum or artifacts or whatever that are in the existing office.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, we would not be standing up our own foundation or an arm of a foundation or anything.
Okay, thanks.
And you have all the information you need to
I think
draft
there's
that
still
agreement.
a couple of things we don't have, but I believe that's because they're unknown at this time.
Okay, all right. And that agreement will come back to operations for review. Okay, all right.
Madam Chairman, the gentleman that's in charge of it right now is in the process of closing it down, the 501c. There's a set amount in it, but he'll use some of that amount to close out the 501c. And once he gets that amount determined by the CPA and stuff to close out that, then he's going to come back to, if y'all approve, come back and make that donation into the code that Mr. Brooks drafts and that Robbie has already kind of put out, that would be directed for the office for memorabilia and things for museum stuff.
All right, thank you. Any other questions or discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
Commissioner Anderson made a motion to support the mayor in the renewed Hope Act of 2024 and authorize her to send a letter of support to federal officials and invite commission to join in a workshop on the topic and include the Family Justice Center, CAC, and DCS in the workshop. Second by Commissioner Foster. Motion passed unanimously to forward to full commission for approval.
All right, we have a motion by Commissioner Anderson, a second by Commissioner McNabb. Any questions or discussion on this? All right. So you, Mayor, you will set the workshop.
Yes, ma'am.
And the letter will be after the workshop. You'll send a letter after the workshop?
It was just going to be a basic letter. I put in the agenda packet the specific legislation, so it would just be supporting that legislation. My intent was to go ahead and send that just as a basic.
All right.
We support the passage of that bill.
All right, okay. Any other questions, discussion? All those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries.
Commissioner Foster made a motion for the law director to draw a police agreement, including an insurance clause with Second Baptist Church for a 20-by-20 lot with a 50-year lease at $1 renewable every 50 years. Seconded by Commissioner McCamey. Motion passed forward to full commission for approval.
All right, we have a motion by Commissioner McCamey, second by Commissioner McNabb. Any discussion or questions on this item, on this lease? All right, any, seeing none, all those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion passes.
Under resolutions, Commissioner Varon made a motion to approve 26-02-1251, 26-02-1252, and 26-02-1253 as a group to forward to full commission to vote on without a recommendation. Seconded by Commissioner Yeager. Motion passed.
All right. I need a motion to approve these resolutions. All right, we have a motion by Commissioner Varon, second by Commissioner Capshaw. Is there any discussion or questions on these? Commissioner Allen.
Thank you, Madam Chairman. On the 1251, that's the first resolution, that deadline has passed, as we all know. However, I would be in favor of helping out with a summer food service program called the Sun Meals. and the meals to go. That deadline has not passed. So because the deadline has passed, I will not be in favor of 1251. Resolution 1252, we already had a resolution that was passed opposing the voucher program, or the scholarship program, as I should say, for the Educational Freedom Act prior to the law being passed. So I don't understand why we're going to have a resolution that's opposing a state law that was already passed. So I'll be voting no for these three resolutions.
All right, Commissioner Varon.
Yes, I put
Unless you
in
change my mind.
resolution number 1251 because it actually the deadline passed January 1, but it will come back up again next year. And it was the governor that solely declined something like $72 million for feeding our children, particularly the children in poverty, which we've got an 18.7% poverty rate, child poverty. Now then, to let this go without at least trying to get the representatives and legislators involved would be just simply to let our children down. On resolution number 1252, on the voucher system, they're going to vote on doubling it this year, and you know that I think it's going up to like $700 million. Well, that $700 million could fix a lot of schools. Certainly could help our schools, you know, and that's the only thing about it is that, you know, I haven't seen a single school system or a single state that has had vouchers that have done it in a big way that are not just paying for two separate school systems. You can't have two sets of schools on one school budget. You know, these things break down at time, and the more they expand them, the more it's going to hurt our public schools. That's right. So, I mean, you know, and most of these students are already in private schools that are getting this voucher, you know, and vouchers never helped a failing school, not once. So that's my view on it. So.
Commissioner Barron, okay, Commissioner Yeager.
I'd like to separate these out instead of as a group. So I'll make a motion to hear these individually.
We have a motion on the table. So Commissioner Barron, as the maker of the motion, this has been sent to us without a recommendation. Typically, that is just for information purposes only. You are asking us for an action tonight, correct?
I would like action on this tonight because like on resolution number 1253, that is being argued in the House and the Senate, and things going on with that. You know, I wouldn't object to splitting them up and dealing with them separately. I didn't mean for them to be presented to you per se as a group for voting on.
So would you like to amend your
anyway,
motion to deal with each one individually?
Yes, that would be fine.
All right. Is that all right with you, Commissioner Capshaw, to do individually? Yes. All right. So the motion on the floor then, we will take the first one, which is the summer EBT, Resolution 2602, 1252. All of those, is there any other discussion? Did you?
Could we do a roll call on this?
Sure, we can do that.
Thank you.
You got that, Josh? All right. Any other discussion? All right, on the first resolution, let's go to the board and vote. All right. Motion passes. All right, the second resolution would be Resolution 2602-1252. This is the one on rejecting the Education Freedom Scholarship Act or similar voucher initiative. Let's go to the board and vote on that one.
Oh.
Is there any discussion?
Did we need a motion?
Oh, well, I thought, do we want to do separate motions? Do we need to do separate motions, or does his motion go for all three?
Separate.
Separate motions? All right, so we've, Commissioner Anderson with the motion, second by Commissioner Capshaw. Commissioner Val.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I'm confused on this, and no doubt it's more my fault than it is anyone. It's always easier for me to make a decision in full commission when a committee has sorted it out. Now, I know that it was sent to full commission without a recommendation from the operations committee. Before I vote on this, I still have some unanswered questions, and I apologize for not having an opportunity to go back and watch this section of the operations committee. Did operations actually hash this out and for whatever reason didn't want to send a recommendation? Or was it just one of those situations where they thought this was a major enough issue to go ahead and send to full commission so everyone would get a chance to vote on it? If the chair may be able to answer that.
Commissioner Isbell.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Actually, it was Commissioner Varon that asked for it to come without recommendation, and Commissioner Yeager actually questioned that as well.
All right. Commissioner Varon.
Yes, I thought this was important enough for the whole commission to vote on. I mean, with just the committee there, with one or two people missing, I mean, 4 people could decide the fate of it, and I didn't think that would be right.
Okay.
Well, I'd like
Commissioner Bell.
I'd like to make a point on that particular view, and I certainly respect Commissioner Barron's view on this issue, because when this first got brought up, I think a majority of us actually voted to send a resolution to our state representatives at the time opposing vouchers. And the main reason I did that was because our school superintendent stood in front of us and made a passionate plea for us to do so and requested that we do it, trusting their judgment on the effects that this would have on our school system. That's why I voted that way when we first did it. However, if I recall correctly, and somebody can correct me if I'm wrong, I'm relying on memory, we sent it well enough in advance that the state legislators down in Nashville would have opportunity to review it, ask questions, and then take action as we asked them to do. It passed anyway, but they took it into consideration. This is coming in right under the wire. Legislation's in full swing. Matter of fact, I think they're wrapping up a few issues down there. And I myself would want to hear from Dr. Parrott again to go, hey, what you told us before, and you said this, the effects were gonna be this, 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 and this, has that happened? Was it as bad as we thought it was going to be before I would be able to adequately vote on this? Since the operations committee sent it to us without a recommendation, those answers I still need before I would be able to support this. So at this point, I'll be a no vote on this. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Yes. Commissioner Isbell.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I would also like to hear from our state representatives, because those are the ones that's making the decisions. They didn't come before, you know, and talk to operations or full commission about any of these subjects, but I'd like to hear from them. I remember that State Representative Scarborough voted against vouchers That's why he got elected and sent there. That was one of the main things he ran on, I think. State Representative Butler actually voted for him. So I would like to hear from them and see what they say.
Commissioner Yeager.
I think Commissioner Val made some good points there, and I would like to defer this one a month and invite Dr. Parrott in to answer some questions for us back to operations. I'd like to make a motion to defer to next month's operations.
All right. Do we have a second on the deferral?
Second.
All right, we have a second. Any discussion on the deferral? We don't have discussion on deferrals. All of those in favor of deferring this particular resolution back to operations, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
No.
All right. Show of hands. All those in favor of deferring, please raise your hand. Is your hand up? No. 7. That's 7. Right. And all the noes? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Deferral would fail.
Okay, deferral fails because that would be 8, right? We need, with the 2 missing.
No, we still need 9.
Still need 9.
Yeah, because
All right.
this is not a shame
All right.
kind of situation.
All right, the motion on the floor is to pass this resolution. And that was made by Commissioner Yeager and second by Commissioner Val. Right?
Madam Chair, would you mind?
I didn't.
That was the,
Yeah,
that was
I
the
made-
deferral.
Is this the
motion.
deferral?
Yeah.
Sorry.
I think
Do you remember who made the motion? And
I made the motion. to
Anderson
approve.
and Capshaw. Okay. You got that? Yes, Mayor.
I just wanted to make one remark. When we send something down to the legislature, whether I agree with it, disagree, or am ambivalent about it, I do like to protect Anderson County and make sure that we look like we know what we're talking about. This particular resolution looks like we don't know what we're doing, and it looks like we're not keeping up. To Commissioner Allen's point, this legislation has passed. So if we want to rework this and we're asking for the state of Tennessee to rescind or repeal these initiatives, the Education Freedom Scholarship, or if we want to get specific and say, we don't want to see them expanded any longer. I just don't want our legislators to get this and go, I mean, I worked as an intern in the legislature, and I was the person responsible for getting all of this information. It just looks like we don't know all the details of what's going on, and that can be a confusing message. So I do think we need to fine tune it and really ask for what we're after. Again, whether I'm for or against or don't, it doesn't matter. It's just, let's get it right so that they know, Anderson County knows what we're after. We know exactly what we're requesting. So that would be my recommendation.
All right. Commissioner Isbell.
Madam Chair, if this was to fail, we could actually take it back up in operations again and try to pattern it a little differently.
All right. All right. So we are voting to pass this resolution, 2602-1252, to reject the Education Freedom Scholarship Act or similar voucher initiatives. Commissioner Smallridge.
Yeah. I think it's important for us to take a stand on this. I have no doubt that Dr. Parrott would say the same thing he said prior when he met with us. I do understand the mayor's point about referencing expansion, and maybe that's a good amendment, a way to rephrase it and not make us look like we don't know what we're doing. So I don't know. I guess I'd be willing to defer it and look at it from that angle.
Okay. Commissioner Val.
Thank you, Madam Chair, for letting me speak again. Yeah, after the mayor spoke and Commissioner Smallridge spoke, I guess I understand. I don't know if this really requires a resolution more than it may just be a letter that we're sending to our I just don't know if this is the right route to go
Okay.
with this. I mean, my understanding of a resolution is when all of us together are asking our state legislators to do something on our behalf. To Commissioner Allen's point, to the mayor's point, this is already a law. So we're asking them to rescind a TCA.
Okay. All right, so we have spent significant time on this. The motion on the floor, or on the table, is this this resolution is to reject the Education Freedom Scholarship Act or similar voucher initiatives. Commissioner Allen, quickly.
Thank you for letting me speak
And
again.
then we're gonna vote.
Yes, ma'am. To Commissioner Val's point of view, this is more like a petition. This isn't like a resolution, because the state law has already been passed. And I think they had the same problem with the first one also, because there are avenues that can be utilized to have a summer EBT program with the sun mills and the mills to go. The deadline hasn't passed yet. However, getting back to the point, this is more like a petition than a resolution. So once again, I'll be voting no for this. It's already state law.
All right. So I'm going to call this question here. Let's go ahead and vote. All of those in favor of this resolution, say aye.
Aye.
All of those opposed, say no.
No.
Motion fails. All right. The next one, I need a motion for Resolution 2602-1253. This one is supporting continued ACA access for uninsured citizens of Anderson County. Need a motion and a second. I have a motion by Commissioner Varian, second by Commissioner Capshaw. Any discussion on this resolution? Commissioner Val.
Thank you, Madam Chair. So what is it we're exactly asking with this? I guess that would be for Commissioner Mayor.
I'm simply asking to reinstate these vouchers, the $562 average for insurance for like 6,200 of our residents. This is numbers that I got from the state of Tennessee on their website. So, you know, we already got 9.7% of Tennesseans without insurance. And this cutoff of the ACA supplement funding for our citizens is going to push that way on up high. The ACA is certainly not a perfect program, but it's the only one we got right now.
You say 6,200 citizens?
In Anderson County.
Blank screen here.
Okay. Commissioner Yeager.
I'm going to withdraw my request.
Okay.
Well, no, I'll take it back. Let me take it back. Who is the recipient of this?
Yeah.
Who's the recipient? Who's this going to?
The people that are, who's this going to? We need to send this to Chuck Fleshman and Marsha Blackburn.
Who would be the recipients
Yeah.
of the vouchers?
Oh.
No. I was talking about the resolution, this resolution. So it would go to our federal.
Yeah,
Okay,
because they're the ones that control it.
right. It just wasn't stated, so I wanted to make sure.
All right. Seeing no other questions or discussion, all of those in favor of this resolution say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
No.
Let's have a show of hands. Who voted no on the resolution?
Voted no.
No. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Did you have yours up, Mr. McCamey? 7. Okay, I think that motion failed. All right. I mean, motion passed. I'm sorry, I said that wrong,
Yeah.
right? Because we needed 8, so it passed.
No.
Am I right?
Gotta have
Needed
9.
9. And we had 7 no's, so
So we had 8 yeses,
8 yeses.
so that would have been a fail.
So it did fail. Thank you. I'm trying to do this backwards, and it's been a long night. All right. All right, so we've gotten through those 3 resolutions. Continue on, Chairman Isbell.
Commissioner Wandell made a motion to form a task force for the former Claxton Elementary School to report back to this committee and include the mayor, law director, director of schools, 2 school board members, commission chairman, Commissioners Wandell and McNabb as the members, seconded by Commissioner Capshaw. Motion passed forward to full commission for approval.
All right, we have a motion by Commissioner McNabb, second by Commissioner McCamey. Any discussion or questions on this motion? I have a quick question. So this is to form a task force. I wonder, will the law director issue a resolution that gives the parameters of what the task force will do, what they'll be responsible for, when the sunset date will be, all of those sorts of things? How is that task force going to be formed? By resolution?
All those parameters wasn't discussed,
Okay.
so I guess we could probably lay that out tonight.
Okay, so the motion is to form a task force for the former Claxton Elementary School to report back to operations. Do we need a resolution? I think when we form a task force or a committee, we have a resolution to do that. So can we put that in the motion, that the law director will bring a resolution back to operations that will have all of the parameters in there? What the task force will do, when it will
Yeah,
be
that would be-
sunset, all of the details.
There would be Commissioner McNabb and McCamey to amend that.
Commissioner McNabb?
I said it on the operations discussion, it was pretty loose as far as what I'm looking for. This is really just to be able to give information back to our constituents.
Okay.
We get a lot of questions about this, Commissioner Wandell can tell you, and I'm okay with amending it for that if that's what we need to do procedurally for the law director to make it, fit the letter of the law, but.
Mayor, law director, do you have do we need a resolution for this? Is that procedurally?
I'm gonna say yes. And with regard to that, I'm gonna say, there's a lot of specifics I'll need to put in it, just what has been going around.
Okay.
Otherwise, we're just stabbing at
Okay.
things.
If that's what the law director's
Make that
advice,
amendment?
yeah.
All right, Commissioner McCamey, you think, is that okay with you?
Yeah.
All right. Any other discussion or questions?
Yes, Madam
Yes.
Chairman.
Yes.
So will that be referred back to operations with these parameters?
I think so. I mean, you've got a couple parameters there, but I think we just need the full scope of what the task force will be charged to do. And when we can expect that task force to end.
Because when you do a resolution, that gives that task force a lot of teeth.
Okay.
Just like the task force we already have, under resolution. So that's why I think it needs to go back, so all this will be discussed and ironed out. But, I'm in favor of this task force.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
So the motion on the table is to form a task force and asking the law director to propose a resolution that has all of the parameters, the details, the scope of this task force. Commissioner Wandell.
Thank you, Madam Chairman. The intent that I had for the task force was just to meet and to develop all the parameters. Says task force is a temporary specialized group assembled to solve a specific, often urgent problem to achieve or define goals before disbanding. I thought that if we met, we could start laying out the groundwork, then have the law director if needed. I didn't see it as a new committee we're forming to add to our already committees, but I just felt like we could meet as a task force, as a group. I talked to Dr. Parrott. I'd like to see him run the meetings since it's his school system, and that was the intent, just to start the discussions. There is no mindset to take money away or do this or do that. Just have everybody come to the table, and maybe we could lay out the groundwork there. But I'm comfortable if you want to go ahead and have the law director lay it out.
So these individuals that's listed here shall meet, and then this path forward will be discussed at that time.
Yes.
And the resolution, all the details will be given then.
Yes.
Okay. All right, any other discussion or questions? Mayor?
To Commissioner Wandell's point, I mean, maybe instead of calling it a task force, you just have a work session with those assigned individuals. I mean, I guess the main concern is you do have some motions that have been passed by this body, both at the Finance Committee and full commission, that there will be a sale of the land. And I think some of the discussions that, I guess that's where we need clarity, and maybe at a workshop with those assigned individuals, you could get a little clarity and see, do we need to develop into a task force or a committee or something like that? That's just a suggestion.
Okay, Commissioner Isbell.
Yeah, and I think what this whole motion was about is letting the community come together to have a voice.
Sure.
So I would support whatever Commissioner Wandell, Commissioner McNabb wants.
Commissioner McNabb, as the maker of the motion, is that cool with you to have a workshop with these individuals and proceed from there as Commissioner Wandell suggested?
And hearing the discussion tonight, that sounds like a really good place to start.
Okay.
We could have a workshop, see if there is a path forward for a task force, what we need to get clear objectives. It was a really good discussion at operations, but it was, I guess fairly loose when you start, asking questions like tonight. So I'm fine with a workshop as a starting point, but I'd really like to see this get up and moving.
Commissioner McCain, cool with you? All right. Any other discussion or questions? So the motion is to form or to have a workshop with the individuals listed there, Annette, and then they will discuss a path forward from that workshop. All right. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries.
That concludes the Operations Committee report, Madam
All
Chair.
right, thank you. Next, the Rules Committee report.
We just have one item from Rules Committee. We're requesting a motion to have the prayer and pledge on all agendas with direct discretion given to the chair to act or not act.
All right, I need a motion on, I have a motion by Commissioner Yeager, second by Commissioner Allen. Any discussion or questions on this motion? Commissioner Wandell.
Thank you, Madam Chairman. I guess I'm just trying to understand why we need this rule. I mean, it's the chairman's discretion to have prayer or pledge now. I mean, I don't think we have to have it as a rule, but if it makes people feel comfortable, I'll support it. But as a chairman, you have the absolute ability to have a prayer or not. That's up to the chairman's discretion. So, but if it makes everybody feel comfortable, I'll vote for it.
I think the intent was to have a standard agenda for every committee, and then leave it up to the chair of that committee to exercise and include a prayer. Not everyone is, not everyone is comfortable maybe giving the prayer, and so that was the intent of the motion.
And our rules already address full commission, so these are for all the other committees, correct?
Yes.
Okay. Commissioner White.
Thank you, Madam Chairman. I'm chairman of the BZA, and at our meeting this month, we addressed this issue, and we had a prayer, and we had a pledge, and it was well received for the first time. That's the first time we had ever had it, but I think we'll continue doing that.
Thank you. Commissioner Allen.
Yes, thank you. point of view, we were trying to standardize all of the agendas, and so that makes these agendas more AI compliant that way. So it's up to the chairman of the committees if they want to have it, but the agenda will always be the same.
All right, thank you. Here, Commissioner Isabel, did you?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm just gonna preach a little bit. I think every time we
Just a
get the
little.
opportunity to praise, to give praise for our blessings, we should do it.
All right, thank you. All right, no further discussion. Let's, all those in favor of this motion say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. All right, let's move on to announcements. Let me be the first to say happy birthday, Commissioner Capshaw. She brought her own cake and cupcakes, so have some. Any other announcements from our commissioners?
I just have one.
Okay.
I promised Mr. Larry Gibson from Scarborough that I would make this announcement. So the Scarborough Neighborhood Watch Group has a GoFundMe where they are trying to raise money to replace the neighborhood signs that we have coming into our community. Those signs were first installed in 2007 and 2008, if I'm not mistaken. And so he's went out and got the quotes, and I was part of that group when we first had them installed, and I promised him I would ask and just share that with everyone that he has that going on to replace the signs for our community. So thank you.
Thank you. Any other announcements? Seeing none, hearing none, motion to adjourn? We're adjourned. Thank you.
It just happened. I did not see it there.